Hello friends, welcome back to the multi-cluster demo series. This is part 2 in the multi-cluster demo series, and in the last session we covered how to set a multi-cluster environment when we have two or more clusters available. To configure that, we use a simple pipeline run that uses your kube config for hub and spoke clusters, and once you provide that, it does all the configuration for you automatically, so you don't have to do anything. And we also checked once the pipeline run was completed, we also validated if the hub cluster is connected to the spoke cluster or not. In this session, we will create a pipeline run on the hub cluster, and then we will see the pipeline run is getting executed on the spoke cluster. We will also see how to access the logs for the pipeline run. So accessing the pipeline run in the multi-cluster environment is little different from the way we use in single cluster environment. In single cluster environment, the accessing pipeline run logs is straightforward. You just do the TK and PR logs and your logs are accessible. You can view the logs anytime. But when you are in the multi-cluster environment, TK and PR logs do not work. Reason being, your pipeline run is not executed on the hub cluster, it is getting executed on the spoke cluster. So using the TK and PR logs, you can access the logs from the spoke clusters only. But to access the logs from the hub cluster, you have to follow a different process. And from the usability perspective, when you have the hundreds of spoke cluster, you are not supposed to go and log in on each and every spoke cluster to view the logs. So you should be able to access the logs from the hub cluster as well. So we will cover how we can access the logs from the hub cluster. We will also cover how we can see the logs from the UI, the OpenShift console UI as well. Those are the two things we will cover. Apart from that, we will see once the pipeline run is executing, where exactly their task runs and pods are getting created. Okay, so that's also, let's get started. So to start with, we will use a simple pipeline run. That's not a very complicated pipeline run. You can see the pipeline run is very simple. It is using one echo task. So the task name is echo, and it's just printing the logging data and the timer, nothing else. It is running for 300 seconds, so like it will take around 5 minutes to complete, and I have intentionally kept as a 300, so that while pipeline run is running, we should be able to view the pipeline run status. We should be able to view the live logs from the UI, and we can see how the pipeline run is executed. And once pipeline run is completed, we will be accessing the logs from the hub cluster using CLI, and that everything we will cover in this session only. Okay, so let's get started. So first, let's create the pipeline run on the hub cluster. So to create and view the logs of the pipeline run, I have divided my screen into three parts. You can see one is the spoke, this one is the spoke cluster, and this one is the hub cluster. This one is also hub cluster, but this one I have kept the screen small so that I can trigger the pipeline run from here, and after that I don't have to disturb these two screens. So let's see what happens here. So OC get PR-W, no pipeline run on the spoke cluster. OC get PR-W. Okay, so there is already one pipeline run executed and it is already completed, so we don't have to worry about this pipeline run as well. So now let's create one more pipeline run. So it will be OC create -F samples 00 pipeline run. Okay, now enter, and now the pipeline run, you can see the pipeline run is created on the spoke, on the spoke and the hub cluster as well. Now we will see what is inside these pipeline runs. So once the pipeline run is done, we will see TK and TRLS. So it will show me the task runs. No task run on the hub cluster. Let's see what is there on the spoke cluster. TK and TRLS. Task run is present on the spoke cluster. Now let's see the pods as well. OC get pods. Okay, so one pod is there and is running because there was only one task in the pipeline, so we expect only one pod only. Now let's see the pod on the spoke cluster only. Okay, so no pod on the spoke cluster. Now we need to see the logs. Pipeline run is executed on the spoke cluster, so it's very easy to view the logs from the spoke cluster. It is simply TKN PR logs and then -F, because we want to follow the logs, and then pipeline run name. It is the pipeline run name, and then So now you can see the logs are coming and the counter is increasing. It will go up to 300 because the pipeline run will execute for 300 seconds. And if we do this tkn pr logs -f and the same command, if I do here, logs will not be visible here because exactly task run and pipepods are not available on the hub cluster. So this is expected. You won't be able to see the pipeline run logs from the hub cluster using tkn command, at least in the tech preview. So how you can view the logs of a running pipeline run without going on a spoke cluster? You won't be going on the spoke cluster each and every time you want to view the logs, because you actually, an end user, you might not even know on which spoke cluster this pipeline run is running. So first you need to find out the spoke cluster and then you need to visit the logs. No, that's not something that we expect. So we'll go to the UI, and in the UI we'll see there are two pipeline runs. One is already succeeded, another is running state. So let's go in the running one. And just to confirm, we are on the hub cluster. So you see in the URL, it is a hub.aws. So it is a hub cluster only. And then go to the logs, and the ecos task is running, and now the counter is running 169, 170, and then you see the same counter is running here as well. Yeah, so that's how you can view the logs of the pipeline run from the spoke cluster, or you can view from the hub cluster using the UI. Now we need to wait for the pipeline run to complete, and after that we will be viewing the logs of the same pipeline run using the command line. Of course, the tknpr logs command will not work. We will use a different command, and we'll see once this pipeline run is completed. So let's wait for this pipeline run to complete. Great. So pipeline run is completed now. Now you will be able to see the logs from the hub cluster. This is my hub cluster. So to view the logs from the hub cluster, the command is opc. If you already don't have the opc command, you can download from the OpenShift console. So opc results pipeline run, then list. This will give me the list of pipeline runs. So here you see the Z6XWN. This is the pipeline run for which I want to see the logs. And if you already know the pipeline run name, then you don't have to execute this command. You can directly run the next command. So pipeline run logs, and then pipeline run name, then enter. Yes. Now you see all those logs are available here. So this is another way you can download or you can access the logs of the pipeline run from the hub cluster. So that's all about executing pipeline runs on the multi-cluster environment. Here you saw I created a pipeline run on the hub cluster, how it executed on the spoke cluster. We accessed the logs as well, and we were able to see the task run spots of the pipeline run on the spoke cluster. Nothing was there on the spoke cluster. Yeah, the final step that we forgot to mention is that tkn prls, the pipeline run status, which was coming as running earlier, now you can see it is succeeded. So whatever be the status of the pipeline run, that status is visible on the hub cluster. In this session, we covered how to execute a pipeline run from the hub cluster, and the pipeline run is getting executed on the spoke cluster. We also saw their task runs and the pods and everything were visible on the spoke cluster only. On the hub cluster, there was nothing. We also access the logs of the pipeline run from the spoke cluster using tknpr logs command, and from the hub cluster using the opc results command. We also access the logs of the pipeline run using the UI. So there's everything we covered in this session. In next session, we will have multiple spoke clusters, and then we will see once we create a pipeline run, then how the pipeline run is getting picked by a particular spoke cluster. And if we want to target our pipeline run to a specific spoke cluster, then how we can do it. Right now, if you randomly create a pipeline run and you have a multiple cluster, then definitely it will go to any of the spoke cluster where the resources are available. But yeah, there is some way we can control, not fully, but yeah, there is some way we can control where exactly this pipeline run will go. So we will cover that thing in the next session. Until then, bye bye. See you in the next session.